Hello. Okay. Just double check things. That everything works and stuff. Okay. I think everything's all right. Okay, so another stream. Another year, another stream of me tier listing. I can't believe it's been a year already. I feel like I did the 2024 one very recently, but I guess it's been a year already. Like I actually don't feel like I don't feel that the year has passed. Let me just turn it down a bit. Okay, I'm just opening up another thing just so I have a visual of how I felt playing it and now looking back, you know. But I will try to be as objective as possible, of course. Even though it's still very subjective. Okay. So same rubric, I guess, or same tiers as last year. So there would be a I personally do not recommend, which is like basically like I'm like I don't see anyone that would like know me or play with me that I would recommend this game too. I think I had like 3 last year, so let's see if there's more or not. Forgettable is like it was just that. Like it was not bad per se. It could be bad, but yeah, it's not as bad as I wouldn't recommend it. I just don't think it was memorable. I think that's what I said forgettable was. Yeah, it's not as bad that I would not recommend it. It's just that I don't seem to remember much of it. I might remember playing it, but I might not remember anything about it. Because above that, I would say not the best, not the worst, is something that I would say that is probably something that maybe may not be in my taste, but I can appreciate what it was. And I can say that there's probably someone out there that would love this. It's just not my thing. That's probably not the best, not the worst. Um, would definitely recommend. It's just basically it's it's good. It's really okay. Like it's really an okay game that I would say, yeah, yeah, go buy it. But then if it's like really really good and I really really like it, that's almost perfect because if something is just was just so fun from start to end and had me enjoying every second of it, no notes, I would put it in the perfection tier. Um, which if I remember correctly, I had a few from 2024, I think. I have it up here. 10, like 10 games I put in perfection that I would say everyone should go and play and they will find something to enjoy. Yeah. Um so I'm going to go through the games in order of how I when I played them. So starting from January last year because it's kind of easier to remember um what the game felt like or like what it was like playing it when I if I remember if I do the list that way. That way I can like remember everything. Okay, as you can see here, the first game is The Room 4 Old Sins. Um so I remember distinctly the the Room 3 was like really really good and really really awesome. And I remember thinking that the Room 4 felt like not necessarily a step down, but like a half step. Because they kind of like shot themselves on the foot by making Room 3 be so big and um interconnected inside one giant house that they kind of didn't know where to go the without the game being too big and almost not fun. So I do like the direction they went in. They went in a dollhouse direction, wherein instead of a house, it's a dollhouse, you know? So it's kind of more of the same, just that the dollhouse feels like more of a puzzle box than the giant house in room 3 wherein it felt more like an escape room almost trying to find like where things are, but then they twisted it in a way wherein you can enter the rooms in the dollhouse as well and it can affect other rooms, so it's like more of the same from 3 in a way. So it's still really really good. I just don't think they could top what they did in the room 3, and it's kind of hard to not compare to that. And I do remember thinking there were some puzzles here that felt a little confusing, but only a few. Unlike in 3 where I was like, wow, wow, wow every time. So I will put room 4 in almost perfect. I'll put it there. But yeah, if you like the other room games, this is definitely still something you should play, I would say. Uh Next is Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which is the game by the Castlevania the guy who made Castlevania, and just it's basically a Castlevania, but very modern, and probably adds more mechanics that they probably couldn't do back in original Castlevania. I do remember it distinctly, but what stuck out to me was that one. This isn't a big spoiler, but there was one lock, I guess, lock, wherein the key was something that isn't necessarily that is not entirely missable, but still missable, and that kind of turned me off. But after that, and the locks before that, for me was like really good and really fun. I like the world building. The art took some time to get used to because it's like 2D anime style, but it's also 3D models in front of a 3D looking, realistic looking world. So it was just kind of a slight off, but once I got used to it, and there were some enemies as well that was just like a giant dog or like a giant. I remember the giant cat as well, and it was like, okay, because like the enemies are like supposed to be like demons, right? So there's just a giant cat demon, and it just paws at you. Um, but I still like the whole design of it, especially the world design and how interconnected they are as a Castlevania, Metroidvania, and as well as I enjoyed I think the combat was memorable as well because it wasn't too hard to get used to it, but they do ramp up the difficulty enough wherein, oh yeah, I remember the boss fights. I think those were like the highlights of that game. Though there were some that were a little weird, but I think most of them were something that I really enjoyed. I did have to look up how to do, I think, the last boss fight because it was just so confusing and hard that I had to watch someone else do it and then be like, okay, I know what to do. But then it's supposed to be hard. So, oh, and I like the twists as well. There were some twists in the game that I didn't foresee, but I also didn't expect because it didn't seem like a game wherein the story was gonna be where the story was gonna be like a big factor. So I was shocked when, oh, there's actually some good twists here and twists that make sense within the world that they built. So yeah, I like it. There's just a little hiccups, so I would put it in almost perfect as well. A tier. So I guess this is SABCDF. Guessing. I made I made the numbers yet. I'm the one like pretending I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Next is Rusty Lake Hotel. Oh, this one was fun. What I like the most about it is that even though it's basically a series of escape rooms, part of the game, because you can do the escape rooms in any order, right? Part of the game is finding out the one order that you should be doing it in. And you kind of realize that, like, I did realize it early on, but I feel like some people would not notice that until, like, oh, this was supposed to be like this. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't give you, like, I will say it doesn't give you, like, a big prize, per se, but it was still worth finding the quote-unquote right way to do things. I also like the puzzles. I think there was just one room that was a little weird. I think it was the pigeon room that I was like, I don't know about that. But all the other rooms have some very nice puzzles, and some very weird logic that also made sense. I think that's kind of hard to do in a like very surreal setting kind of game wherein the weird logic still makes sense. And there were some parts there that I was like, oh, this makes sense, right? And then I tried, and then it's the right thing. So I feel like that's kind of hard to like do. So for them to be able to make me think that, um, I like it. I also obviously I like the art because it's very weird and surreal. And I just remember really nice things about it. So I'm gonna put it perfection. I put it A at S. I said A. Put it S. I think I'll put it there because it was really good. Oh, by the way, if I finish this early than my usual time, I'll probably, if I still have time, I'll probably play Thief Gold. Just to wind down a bit as well. Okay, next one is Without Escape. Now this one, so this is like a point and click escape room thing as well. And it was just the weirdest story with the weirdest idea of puzzles. Cause the poster and like the description of the game makes it seem like it's gonna be scary, and then it's not scary, and then it didn't make sense anymore. And then when it ended, I was like, oh, it's done. I was just so. I remember being so shocked at the game being finished, because it didn't feel like it should have ended there. I also found it. I remember this one being the one where I looked up a lot of the solutions because I was just so confused as to what the game wanted me to do. And I remember thinking as well when I saw the I might open the Steam page right now just to look at it. Yeah, I remember looking at the Steam page and going like, "Ooh, everything looks so cool. Everything looks so well done." But then playing it yourself, you're kind of dumbfounded at how everything was done, I guess is the right word. It was just so weird. And it's also one of those games wherein it's mostly like a slideshow, but I feel like the staticness of the slideshow made it seem more empty, which is so weird because like the 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 game itself looks very nice, well done, but then the more you play, the more you stay there, it kind of feels emptier and emptier, which is again just really weird when now that I'm thinking about it. uh, and the again like it's just one of the most bizarre things ever. I'm sorry, but this is the first one that I would say I would put in. Personally, do not recommend F tier because I just don't. And I remember, yes, seeing now the next game, the Paints Creek Killings. It was such a breath of fresh air after Without Escape, especially since I played Rusty Lake as well before Without Escape. Paints Creek Killings felt so fresh. So Paints Creek Killings is a detective adventure exploration game. I think those are the top words that I would describe this. So you're playing it in first person and you enter this town. I forgot the name of the town. So you enter this town where some killings happened, some murders happened like I want to say 2 years ago or 5 years ago. And so you're like a journalist and the town has been empty for like a year or 2 years because people were slowly leaving because of the murders that happened 5 years ago. So the town has like So I think it was like the mayor's wife that died first, and then and then you're trying to solve her murder. That's the thing. And what's cool about it is that there's not necessarily like there's no like objective markers in a way. Like the game just lets you in the lets you into the tutorial segment, which is the um like the police station in front of the gate, and then after that they just let you go free and do whatever you want. And that made it so cool because you like uncover things in your own way. You like find codes for different locks. You like find clues to where something might be that you probably wouldn't have looked at if you didn't know where that you were supposed to look there. Like everything was just there and you just had to find them. And what's cool as well is since the town's abandoned and like stuff were like left behind a bit in a rush, something like that. Um, it feels organic finding the notes, finding hidden lockers with letters. It is kind of funny because it's set like in 21st century where there's smartphones, but a lot of people still wrote letters to one another. To some characters, it made sense that they would send letters to one another. To others, I wasn't sure, but that's just like a minor thing. I just remember, um, again, not a big spoiler, a very minor one, but the ending felt a little like a different game. Let's just say that. It felt like a different game. I won't say how, and I won't say like what it was, but it just felt like a different game. Other than that, everything in the game is, I would say, perfect. And what I like as well that I hope inspires me and inspires a lot of game devs. I think I'm definitely inspired. Is the feeling that they were able to do the whole like player do whatever you want in a way where it didn't feel like I'm too lost. Like even when there were just a few clues left, I knew I was gonna look for those clues. I just needed to decipher things. Like I wasn't lost as to like, okay, where do I go next? I always knew there was something to do, there's something to go to, and it was just so fun. It made me really feel like I was like a detective solving something. Even though you're a journalist, it felt like you're like uncovering things on your own, left behind by people, uncovering the secrets everyone had, uncovering who did the killings, why they did it. Everything was just really good. Um, and I haven't bought their next game, I think, but I do plan on buying that one because that one is also like a deduction game. Oh, but then I wouldn't say Pain's Creek Killings is a deduction game. It doesn't feel like Outer Wilds or like Return of the Obra Dinn. It feels like you're just reading a really nice book. But you're the one choosing how you navigate the stories, which was really cool because like um I honestly had more fun watching other people's playthroughs because I knew knowing where everything was and then watching them like if only they oh my gosh if they read this thing first they would have seen this thing and then they would and then listening to their speculations on what happened and then them forming like different speculations from my speculations because they went through the game differently than I did. So a lot of that was just so fun to watch. So um weird weirdly enough, it's just so much fun. It is one of those games where it's much more fun watching someone else play after you played it because of what I said. Because I feel like Outer Wilds and Obra Dinn, kind of hard to watch other people play those because um a lot of those games are is watching just people think about what um what to do next and like what they're thinking of, and sometimes they're not necessarily wrong, but sometimes you just have to listen through a lot of like false theories. But here, because part of the game is the like making up theories and then the game telling you, nope, this is what happened, you know, it's somehow more fun that way, I think. So, I mean, as I already said, a lot nice things about it. It's going in S tier for sure. I highly recommend that game, especially if you want something that feels like a book but interactive. Okay, next is Bokura. Oh, I wish Bella was here. She would agree with me. Bokura was really fun. There, the story is interesting because it feels very. The story felt very like it was going somewhere else, and then it didn't, but it was still good. Like it really felt like it was gonna be something else, like the twists of the story. But then it didn't go there per se, but at the same time it's still kind of um it still kind of tied everything neatly with a bow, which is so weird because it's really nice. It feels very slice of life with a little weirdness to it. And then it feels like someone remembering childhood, which is basically how the story starts. So it's also a cooperative game, so you can't play it by yourself. You have both of I think both of us had to yeah both of us had to have a copy of it. I think they priced it in a way so that buying two copies feels like you're just buying one game, which I like. And it was so easy to play with another person as well. Like there wasn't any issues with the servers. And oh, and the you're this isn't a spoiler because you're it's one of the first things that happens in the game, but um each depending on which character you're playing, the world will look completely different. And how some animations happen and some dialogue happens kind of differs depending on um kind of differs on which character you're playing. And I like that concept. I just don't think the game like pushed it to the extreme. I feel like they could have pushed it more. Cause I remember the idea of the game was like they would separate the two characters, and you can't talk to the other player while they're separated to make it seem like, you know, you're playing as that character and you don't know what's happening to the other character. And then when you meet together, you discuss what you found, and then you make a decision. But I feel like most, if not every time we made a decision, we were unanimous. Like we were like, oh yeah, it's this decision. Yeah, this one was, because it didn't feel like we were. I think the game wanted you to be like at odds at one another, to be like, no, 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 I think this one should be the thing with no, no, no. I think that's what the game wanted you to do. Maybe it could have just been us, and we just understood each other in a way where it was clear after telling each other what each meant. Maybe, but I think I've seen other people play as well, and they had the same thought process wherein after sharing their information to one another, it was quite clear to themselves what they would think the right decision is. So, yeah. Also, I feel like there were some sections, especially towards the end, that were more tedious than puzzly. Like they were just harder, not because the puzzles were harder, but because the game just gave you more obstacles, which I hope they kind of not really fix, but they kind of improve on in the second game. I think Bokura Planet was the name. So I'm excited to try Bokura Planet as well. But definitely A tier. I would still recommend it. Probably not. I honestly would recommend like It Takes Two more if you want like a two-player game still. If you still haven't played that, because I feel like at this point everyone has played It Takes Two. Um, so and I feel like trying to think. There was another, not Split Fiction, but there was like another game that people were playing together that I saw last year. That wasn't necessarily new, but I just saw a lot of people. I forgot already. But yeah, that's Bokura. Still good. Now XCOM Chimera Squad. I enjoyed this as, so this is like XCOM light, I would say, because it plays like XCOM, especially the turn-based tactics of it, but there's still a little bit of the base building, except it's really small this time. It's more like squad based base building. Like you're not like managing like resources and energy and putting which room where, unlike the main game. They just made it like, okay, who are you which in your squad are you training right now, blah blah blah. And there's no permadeath as well. Like when someone dies, you fail the mission, but the character doesn't die, unlike in main XCOM, wherein when a soldier dies, they're just gone. So it feels much easier. And then each character also has a specific skill tree, unlike in XCOM, wherein you choose what the soldier becomes, kind of. So you're the one choosing, okay, I need a ranger, so you're a ranger this time, and this ranger. So here everyone's like fixed. What I do like is, which will become obvious as well when you play it, is there's like around like 11 to 12 characters, but you only get to play with like 8 of them in your campaign. So if you want to try the other characters, you have to play it again. Interesting, but personally, when I finished it, I felt so satisfied with it. I'm okay with not playing it again. Now the story, instead of, because in XCOM 1 and 2, the story is very like whole world and like protecting the world from the aliens. Here it's just one city, which is interesting. It almost feels too small, but I like the idea that the story is focused more on like the little things of the effect of the whole aliens taking over kind of idea. So like there's like rebels, and then there's like aliens that are siding with the humans siding with the aliens. So it's the whole societal, political, economical aspect of it is really nice. I do like the how it's told. I do like where it's coming from. It just didn't like reach a level where I was like, wow, that was so, I didn't expect that. That was so cool. That was so nice. You know, like it didn't feel like it reached a point where I felt like the game was turned on its head. I mean, not that XCOM 1 and 2 had something like that, since again, like those games were focused more on the base building and getting to the and trying to finish the game in a specific amount of time. This one has that too, but and the ramping up of stress within the citizens. But the intro cutscenes kind of made it look like it was gonna be like a very story heavy XCOM, and then it wasn't. So it's interesting. Oh, what I also do like, what I will say is what I do like about the whole each character having their own personality and skill tree is that when they interact with each other, that was really fun to watch. Because in like original XCOM, in XCOM 1 and 2, the whole conversation between soldiers felt very generic. So in here, it's a little less generic. It still has some like plugged in feeling of dialogue sometimes, but not every time. But I appreciate what they tried. It was fun. It's not gonna be an A tier for me though, probably B. Just because I think if you love XCOM, you can skip this game. if you love XCOM and still want to play something new that's XCOM and don't mind it being much easier than regular XCOM, you can still play it. And I do think that if you haven't played any XCOM, this is a good way to start off your journey, because this is like, since this is an easier version, and because it's an easier version, it's not as good as the other XCOM. So like, I'll put it in B. Next is Mr. Rabbit Magic Show, which is the free game from the people who made Rusty Lake as like a 10-year, I think, 10-year anniversary, to commemorate that. And it was, here's the thing. I was just going to play it because it's like, oh look, a cute game by the Rusty Lake devs, giving it for free to celebrate. What I didn't expect was the twist. I honestly did not expect a twist that happened. I can't say too much about it without spoiling it, but when you reach that twist, you're gonna be like, oh, this is a much more deeper game than I thought. So by the end of it, I was like, wow, they just gave this for free? For free? Wow. It was just a lot. And I was surprised that they were still able to make a way to do collectibles in such a tiny game. So I think this is A tier. I do think the only reason why it isn't S tier is because knowing how clean Rusty Lake Hotel was, this just feel, the puzzles here just feel a little more easier and not really as crazy as the puzzles in, because like, I wouldn't even say there were a lot of puzzles, I think, in Mr. Rabbit Magic Show, because I think it's Mr. Rabbit Magic Show was more focused on testing fans if they could find all the secrets. So it's not necessarily a game you should play if you haven't played a lot of the, of the Rusty Lake games. I mean, you will still enjoy it. You're probably not enjoy it as much as a fan would. That's the only reason why it's B, why it's A. Okay, next is Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. This one was really cute. As the title says, it's about Turnip Boy and he commits tax evasion. It plays like a Zelda game. I think that's the concept. It's like a top-down Zelda game, but it also kind of plays like not a Metroidvania, but it's not a Metroidvania because it's like Zelda, where you get something, you go to another place, fight some things, and then the only thing I didn't personally like, which isn't really like a big issue, but like I feel like it was just too short. I feel like, because I think I played it for only like 2 hours. Again, it's not bad, and then the game was still complete. It had an ending that was satisfying, but I don't know why, but I maybe it's me, but I went in expecting that it was gonna be like a bigger game. So I was shocked to see that, oh, this is a very simpler game than I thought. Maybe, and I was gonna say as well that when I was playing it, the second game already came out. And the second game was like a what was that? Miami, what was that? What's that game? The shooter one? Hotline Miami. The second game was like Hotline Miami. So I was like, oh, they probably like, they were done with the Zelda thing, so now they're moving to a different genre. So the Zelda thing probably was like used to the fullest, and then I was like, oh, it wasn't. It was still good. It just felt a little like they could have like pushed it more. But then it's their first game, so I don't take that as a knock against them. And I think there were some actually like really funny moments playing this. Yeah, I remember laughing a lot playing it as well. and a lot of internet references. That was fun. Internet references. But I would put it B. I wouldn't like ask people to like go out and get it immediately. But if you like something like that, I'd say go ahead. Next is Escape Memoirs. I think this is the jail. I think that's what it's called. Escape Memoirs mini stories. That's why I don't remember the title, because mini stories. I just remember it being in the jail. So this game specifically, I have to note that the base game is free, but then in order to like finish the story, you have to buy the DLC, which I think is fair because at least they gave you like the main game for free, and if you already get like a full game from the free one, so you're only buying the DLC if you think you wanted to know like what the rest was. But I'm gonna count this as one giant game, the main game and the DLC, because here's the thing: the main game was absolutely fun. There was a lot of puzzles there that were really good, and the fact that they were able to do a lot in such a small room, because like there were like, so it was like jail cells and then the police officer room, and you're mostly in the police officer room, and I was shocked at how much they were able to fit in there, which was really nice. Hi Ina, how are you doing? Just discovering that fits chat so well. Which one? Which one? Also, how are you doing? Yeah, so yeah, in the police room there was a lot of puzzles there. It was really nice. And then it I thought when it opened up it would end, and then it wasn't. So I liked it. I liked the main game a lot. Of course, of course. And you came in, I think you were here last year as well when I was tier listing the games from last year. Can you believe? My god, 2025 felt so long and so fast at the same time. Oh, long and fast. It's a rat named Chadar. Hold on. I haven't seen Chadar before. Fuck. Oh. He looks very... Chadar looks very, gentlemanly, though. That doesn't feel like Chad. He's not a gentleman. Oh, small like Chad. Okay. Probably. He does look a little, Oh, the moose is more creep. But then it's not small like Chad. So it defeats the purpose. Oh! Oh! His name's Moose, but he's a villager. Oh no, he's a mouse. Moose. Yeah, he... Now this is Chad. Now put Chatter in Moose's face, and that's it. He was one of your stars. Did you wouldn't leave? Lol, that's so funny. Did you restart everything? Did you start from the beginning when you played again? Or did you just continue where you were but like change which villagers you had? You didn't restart? I see. So you just changed villagers a bit? Like you're out You're gone. Oh yeah, I would too. I would be too late. I'm lazy to even continue. Even though I have it and the Switch is right there. Much less restart. Okay. So Escape Memoirs. The main game was really good, but because of how good the main game was, I was expecting that the DLC was gonna be as good as the main game, and then it wasn't. It's not that it's bad. I think they just expected people to expect a harder game, so they made the puzzles harder, but they didn't make it easier to navigate because it felt like the DLC was almost too big of a place. Unlike in the main game where it was just like you were just in this room and then this room. But the DLC was like, okay, you have to go around a whole like bunker area. And the puzzles were a little confusing. And then the puzzles themselves were very like tiny puzzles compared to the rest of the rooms. Yeah. So because of that, I'd put it B. I mean, was it bad? It's just if it weren't for that DLC, I would probably put it at A. But definitely B. I'll adjust that later. Next is Samorost. So this is what Samorost 1 is like a free game. So if you guys like point and clicks with like weird art, this one's good because and it also took like 10 minutes. Like it was that short. I would put it B. I wouldn't even discuss further because it's very short, very simple. It's cute. That's it. I think the story is like someone took the dog. Or was that the second game? But I don't even remember what the story of Samorost 1 was. Oh, wait. I think it was like there was like a ship coming to the planet, so they had to move the planet. Something like that. I could be mixing up the two of them because Samorost 2 here I would talk that this one was really good because it's basically Samorost 1 but longer. And you don't need to play Samorost 1 as well in order to enjoy Samorost 2. I do think there were some areas where I got a little confused, and it still feels a little too short. I don't know how to explain it without like saying like that it's just too short. It just felt too short. Like it felt like the story was about to like go somewhere and then it ended. That's how I remember Samorost 2. Which is weird because Samorost 1 basically ended abruptly. But somehow that was a better ending than Samorost 2. Though it's still cute and the puzzles were nice, I would put it at A as well. So, but I feel like play Samorost 1 first since it's free. And if you like it, play Samorost 2. Because if you don't like Samorost 1, you're not gonna enjoy 2. Okay, next one is Many Nights a Whisper. Oh, this one is by Deconstruct Team, the people who make like they basically make games wherein choices really matter. Only Gods Will Be Watching and Red Strings Club. And then I forgot. I have their latest game, Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. So I'm excited. Wait, I just opened their Steam. They have another game releasing this year? What? Virtue and a Sledgehammer. Go back to your hometown and tear it down with a sledgehammer in this narrative exploration game. Confront your past in a devastating story about feeling like you no longer belong in the place you grew up. Oh my god. That is a description. Confront your past in a devastating story about feeling like you no longer belong in the place you grew up. Ugh, whoever wrote that. My god. I've been waiting to try wanting to try Cosmic. Do you have it? I have it. It's just in my backlog, so I'll be playing it soon-ish. We'll see. Oh, this new one looks so cool as well. Oh god, I love Deconstruct Team. I'm so glad that they're able to find their groove and make like after I feel like after Red Strings Club, they were like, okay, we know what to do, and then they released Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood, and then they were like, okay, now we have enough money to make a lot at the same time. So I'm surprised that they're releasing another game this year, especially after Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood came out 3 years ago, and then they just released this small one, Many Nights a Whisper. If you, I will say, if you enjoy Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood, you should try this one, or you could play it before Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood because this is a short game, Many Nights a Whisper. It's oh god, how do I describe it? So you're like a person who grants wishes. So that's your whole shtick. People come to you and they ask for a wish, and then you either approve of their wish or not. And their wishes range from like ending world hunger, I'm not even kidding, to like, I hope the boy I likes me back. It ranges that much. And what's interesting about it is it doesn't show you this is all not a spoiler because it happens very in the game is very short. It takes like an hour or and a half to finish, like watching just a movie. And like what I like is they don't show you how it changes the world. It just shows you like a description of what the future looks like in words, with the wish granted or not granted. I found that so cool. Like they didn't show you specifically the effect, the immediate effect. They show you like a long-term effect of something. So in this world, magic exists because of the fact that someone asks for magic. So it's kind of that kind. The world building was so cool because in just an hour, I was able to absorb so much. Now, here's the twist. So you get all these. I think people pay with their braids of hair in order. So you like cut off their braid if you want to make their wish come true. And then that braid, it will come together and turn into like a slingshot, so that so at the end of the game, which is like 5 game days, I don't know, remember, 5 or 7 days, you're supposed to fire like a thing with the slingshot, and you have only one shot. So throughout the days you're practicing that one shot as well. And they're not kidding when they say you only have one shot. If you miss, none of the wishes come true. So it's like all the pressure's on you. So it was, but again, it's so short. It's like 1 hour. So if you fail, you just start from the beginning and just take another hour. But like, I was so happy. I think I put it in my I put it in my YouTube if you want to see me play it. Though obviously spoilers, because it's a lot of you'll see what happens. But what I like about Deconstruct Team is that even when you watch someone play the game, you kind of still want to play it just to see what the other choices would be, because they're really good at that. That's why I'm really excited for Cosmic Wheel Sister to play Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood, because they always find a way to like make choices not feel like choices. So like in their first game, Gods Will Be Watching, it was more like a survival game in a way. And you had to make choices quickly so that everyone in the group survives. And in the second game, Red Strings Club, it was like an espionage game with secrets and cyberpunkiness. But then depending on the choices you make, some things may be revealed, some things may not. And it was really nice. And then in Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood, you make tarot cards in order to influence the choices. I mean, come on, who thinks of that? Them. So like, I like that here. It's like you make the choices, but then whether or not the choices you make will come true depends on on whether you are able to do the the one shot into the thing. But yeah, this one's really fun. It's really good. It's really good. I recommend supporting them by buying it and trying it by yourself. It's also very therapeutic since you just play it for an hour and then you're done, you know. If I remember correctly, it's also very cheap. Yeah, I want to say it's around $3. For us, Ina, it's 100 pesos. So for just 100 pesos, and that's full price. For just 100 pesos, you're playing like a really fun game for 90 minutes. You know? Oh, I think I bought I think I bought it on sale even. Oh, I bought it on sale because this came out last year at April. So when they launched it, it was at a 10% discount for the launch. That's why I bought it immediately because I was like, it's only 100 pesos and then they're giving it basically so cheap. I'm gonna buy it even though I rarely buy games from launch. But it was definitely worth it. So as you can see, I'm saying a lot of good things about it. So obviously, this is S tier. This one was really good. I think it still stuck with me as well, and I think because of playing it, I kind of put Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood up on my wish list even more. And like it was already high up, but I put it even much higher after playing that game. God, that was April. Time really flies. And I was like thinking as well, like this year, I might not stream so much because I have to focus on other things. That would now it's gonna feel like everything goes by very quick if I stream less. I feel like. Okay, next one is Resonance. So this is a point and click game from Wadget Eye. Um, Febness to Sunday. Well, honestly, January was kind of a slow month for me. But I also think yes, like what is already February, I haven't done much. So there you go. But I was gonna say I feel like January always feels long because it's after like the Christmas vacation, so your body's like still not recovering from the slowness, so it feels like it's like a roller coaster. And I feel like February is always so fast because you've already acclimated to working, so it's just February is just gonna zoom past. Anyway, Resonance. I This one was the it was the it's a point and click. It's like set in present day, and there's like a whole like conspiracy with like I forgot what it was, but it was some sort of like power, like energy or something. I think it was like an energy wherein you can transport something to another place in a split second. It was like quantum physics or something. And the difference and the like I would say innovation, even though I think no I think someone else hasn't used it again. But the innovation in this game was that you play as 4 different characters. At the start, at the first half of the game, you play them separately. So you play this character first and this character and then like that. But then in the half, second half, they're all together. So you use the abilities that they have, like at your own leisure, and you kind of like can like separate them or put them together and all of that. Exactly, innovation. But as I said when I was playing it as well, it didn't feel like it was gonna be like a good idea to split people up, which was a weird thing because there wasn't any incentive to like split people up. So what I just did is every time we go somewhere, I just bring all four characters. That way, I won't miss anything, you know? Like there was a whole thing with like you can switch characters while they're separated, but there I don't think trying to remember if there was a puzzle that utilized that. I don't think there was. It didn't feel like there was a puzzle that felt like you had to have some person here and the other person here and then switch between them quickly enough so that you were able to do something. I don't think there was. But story wise, it's still good. I think the twists in this game was really good as well. Like I remember feeling good by the end. So I put that A. Yeah, there's a few things there that I wouldn't put it why I wouldn't put it S. And one of the reasons is the next game I play, which is Unavowed. Ah, Unavowed is so good. I recommend it even if you're not into like point and clicks and puzzles. I highly recommend it because it's just so fun and it's just so good. It feels like you're reading a comic book and you're going through volumes. It feels like you're watching like a whole season of a show. It's so good. Like the idea here is that there's a like a I don't know what I forgot to call a group. They're a group called the Unavowed. They're like they're like magical people because like not ever because like they're different like magic. So one's like a djinn, the other's a mage. So they're like different types of magic. And then like the start of the game, uh your character gets possessed by a demon and then the game starts where the other characters just uh exorcise the demon from you. So you start the game not knowing what the demon was doing the whole time with your body. So throughout the game, you try to uncover what the demon did, and also realize, oh, the demon used my body, so to do like very horrible things. It also goes there in terms of how horrible things get. Like it really goes like not even sad. It just terrible. Like really the demon is not lying when it said it's demon. So, but what I like as well is that it also has like a cool party system, which hello, point and click puzzles, you wouldn't think to do that. So it has like a party system where you can only have like two companions at a time out of possible four. So the puzzles change depending on who you bring with you. Dialogues change whoever depending on who you bring with you. So that kind of adds like with the other games where in with Deconstruct Team wherein you kind of want to play the game multiple times just to see what the different combinations of characters will bring. But also, can you imagine the flow chart that they had to do to make sure that every puzzle is still solvable even if you choose any combination of two characters? Like just think I was thinking about that playing it. Yeah, it's a party system. Exactly, like all there's only four companions, but still like so that's 4 times 3, that's 12 possible combinations for each area, and there's like what 8 areas that you had to go through. And what I like as well that each area had like a had its own contained mystery, but it's related to the overall mystery with the demon and stuff. But the contained mystery feels so well written as well. That's what I really enjoyed about it. Everything was just so well written. Um, Sadly, I think I didn't start yet saving my VODs when I played this. So the only way you will know what the story is by playing it yourself. That which again I highly recommend. And I don't usually say this with like point and click puzzle games because sometimes they're too niche. But I feel like this one is just on another level of crazy. And I don't know. I'm not usually for urban fantasy, but I feel like this one sold me on it. It was just so god. And it's so funny. I remember. It's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah. Unavowed, definitely S tier. I I will definitely move these games as well, depend from left to right, depending on how which one I like more. I can tell right now, Unavowed will probably be number one, because I don't remember. Well, again, unless we find out later, but I don't remember another game like Unavowed that made me feel like that, and how fun I had. Sorry about that, mate. Computer's acting up. Don't mind it. Um, So that's Unavowed. Definitely one of the best games I played. The thing is, here's another thing about Unavowed. I came in expecting a great game. Like I already had high expectations, and then it because I know because it's from the guy who made the Blackwell series that I really enjoyed. So I was expecting something like the Blackwell series, and that was just so much more than I expected. It was so good. Anyway, Unavowed, highly recommend. If you're gonna play one game from all of these lists, definitely Unavowed. Next is Balatro. Okay, I played this on stream. Once I've already played like a lot of it. I bought Balatro because I wanted to just play it off stream, but then I think there was a time because when my PC got broken, when after fixing it, I was like, I don't know what to play. I'll just play Balatro on stream. I think I played like 2 streams of it, and I'm not gonna say much. I feel like I'm with everyone else that says that this is such like a innovation. That's that word again. A game changer, a groundbreaking game. Like, can you imagine one person made all this? And it's such a simple game, but it's so addicting, and you're playing it for hours and hours. Like, hello. And it doesn't feel like gambling. That's the cool part. Like, doesn't feel like you're actually gambling, even though there's a lot of RNG in it. But if you don't know what Balatro is, it's basically yeah, Balatro was made by one person, Local Thunk. And what's funny was that if you watch like the game awards shit, because um he was like nominated in a lot of like game stuff, but he never appeared in any of them because he doesn't want to like show who he is. Like no one knows his real name or anything, because that's how much. Because he was just making like a cute little game. He didn't expect that it was gonna blow up like this. It was even nominated in like in the game awards for game of the year. I mean, hello, can you imagine just doing bloop 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 by yourself, and then months later you get nominated for game of the year with like with Claire Obscure, with Hollow Knight, with Hades 2. Like, can you imagine? Also, he's probably fucking rich now. He probably doesn't even have to make another game. He'll probably make one because he likes it, but he probably doesn't have to make another game with how much he's sold of Balatro. Exactly. I love it for Locothon. That's why if you watch in the game in the award shows that Balatro's nominated, he like hires Ben Starr to accept the award for him, and Ben Starr appears as Jimbo, the Joker. And you should watch I think it was the BAFTAs. That was really funny. When I think he I think Balatro won best indie game, and then Ben Starr was the one to accept it, and he was so funny. And then there was another one where Ben Starr came up to accept the award for Local Thunk, and he was basically like he had a whole card. He had a whole card like around his face. It was making fun of the fact that everyone's making fun of him of doing this. No, there's no voices in the game. There's nothing to voice in the game. It's all cards. It's all cards and like chirpy noises, and he just basically just hired Ben Starr. I don't know if he hired Ben Starr. Maybe he just asked, "Hey Ben, can you do this?" I don't even know if how they knew each other. Maybe Ben was just sitting there and they said, "Hey, why don't you just?" It's very I honestly don't know, but then Local Thunk always like replies to like posts about it because he's like enjoying the fact that Ben Starr is the one appearing for his game. And I think as well he kept appearing because Balatro came out before Ben Starr was in Clair Obscur, but after Final Fantasy 16. So I feel like Ben Starr hasn't like boomed as much yet because Clair Obscur wasn't out yet when he was winning awards with Balatro. So I feel like Ben Starr kind of auditioned himself into stardom like that. But anyway, if Balatro I still play it from time to time because the later levels, and it's not really levels, it's like win conditions. The later like levels is so hard. Like I'm like, oh my god, I already have all the decks unlocked. I just need to win the stakes, which is like the harder difficulty of each deck, so it's like. But yeah, I kind of want to play it right now, honestly. But that's how fun it is. But yeah, definitely S tier. Also it's also the price is not bad. That's why I think I bought it. I still bought it on sale, but yeah, it's like 480 pesos for like something you're gonna play forever. Like you're never gonna stop playing this game. I don't think you're. That's why I don't know if you guys know when Markiplier played it. It was so funny. He like played it when it came out, I think. Oh wait, Balatro didn't get nominated with Clair Obscur. It was nominated the year before. What the one before? Baldur's Gate 3, right? Oh, imagine you get nominated with Baldur's Gate 3 and you're just one person sitting there, right? Anyway, so Markiplier played Balatro, I think when it came out. Or like a few weeks after it came out because everyone was talking about it. And then he like played it. You could see him like understand everything, blah blah blah. And then that's the video. And then the next video he has of Balatro is him like months later, finished unlocking every deck, done some stakes, and he's like, okay, I didn't record myself. I'm trying to do his voice. I didn't record myself playing the game because I was just playing it by myself a lot. So the only reason why he didn't have a like a video after the first video was because he was just playing it by himself, and he just wanted to show where he was at that point. So he like recorded that video, and then you can, if you watch the two videos back to back, it's crazy because he goes from not understanding a thing to like being an expert in like, okay, the odds of this happening and then this happening. Oh, that's a good card. That's a good card. That's a Joker that we want, guys. Do I sound like him? Anyway, so like, it was just so fun watching him do that, and that's actually how I feel playing it. Like you start off really not good at it, and then by the end you feel like you're such a baddie. You're like oh, this game is too easy, and then you fail. But yeah, Balatro. So next is Alone with You. Oh, yeah, Betty. I mean, what else can I just? You just feel so cool. Anyway, Alone with You. This is another story-based game. That's how I would describe it. It's basically an exploration story-based game. It's about someone who's trying to uncover what happened in a colony, in a space colony, that everyone died. So everyone died in the space colony, and you're just one person trying to gather what happened here. And you're also able to gather like AI memories of specific people, and when it was inserted in the AI, you can like talk to the people, but up to a certain memory. So they don't know what happened to them up to a certain point, this AI construct of a person. It sounds very cool, right? But then I feel like the execution was very, 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 very bland, I want to say. Was it okay? It was boring at times. At times it felt cool uncovering the lore. It just feels, now this is, I feel like, the opposite of Samorost, wherein everything felt short. In Samorost, here everything felt so long. You had to walk to a different place, or to do this. I think they were supposed to make you feel lonely, so that you feel like you should talk to the AI that you're talking to, and like, um I don't know what the right word is. Be endeared to them, like feel like they're your only friend in this planet, you know. But I didn't feel that, even though it felt like the game wanted me to do that. So honestly, I'll put it at forgettable, because it wasn't bad. I just don't remember. If I didn't put it in this list, I wouldn't even remember I played that game. Oops. But yeah, uh, I expected more from it, honestly. Okay, next is Betrayal at Club Low. Ugh, I was so excited to play this. So this is kind of like Disco Elysium, but in like 3 hours, and in just one place. So it's an RPG with no combat, but and your stats are like the weirdest stats, but almost also the funnest stats ever. It's like you have the like you have like charisma and like wisdom, knowledge, but you also have like cooking, performance. There was another one that was so weird. I'm trying to remember. I'm gonna just look it up. Cooking was just so fun. I think music, yeah, music. Not, it wasn't performance, it was music. Um, so like cooking, music. What was the other one? There was another one that was fun. Why can't I find it? Did they not put it here? Well, anyway. Okay, so this is by Cosmo D Studios. I played their... The first game I played from Cosmo D was the free one, the Off-Peak. And then I found out about this one. They're making an RPG that's kind of like a Disco Elysium, but smaller and crazier. I really love how Cosmo D does the whole like surreal, nothing makes sense, but because nothing makes sense, everything makes sense. Because like in this game, there was one distinct thing that happened was like I like showed the DJ that I was like a better DJ than him, and he was like, you know what, you're right, you're a better DJ, and he just flew off like he had rockets under his feet or something. Just flew off and then crashed through the ceiling, and then now you're the DJ. That's how weird it is. Oh, also, Like the whole concept is like you're like a spy trying to infiltrate Club Low in order to save a spy that was caught. And in order to infiltrate, you're dressed up as a pizza delivery man. And then, related to that, in order to add more dice to your rolls, you make more pizza. So it's called pizza dice. I mean, I feel like I'm crazy talking about this to everyone. I feel like I'm talking about like an acid trip or like a dream that I had. But that's exactly what happens in this game. I'm not even kidding. And what I like about it as well, this is clearly like the developer trying out whether they can do like a game using the system, because it's kind of a short game. You can like finish it in like 2 hours. But I honestly, this one I would replay over and over. Like I could see myself like getting bored one day and just opening it and playing it. I really enjoy that. And I like that because this game was successful. Their next game is basically like a giant open world version of Betrayal at Club Low. So I'm so glad that they were able to that Betrayal at Club Low was so successful that they're able to make a bigger, better, crazier game afterwards. I think I remember distinctly it's going to be early access the next game, so I'm trying to consider whether or not I want to play early access or I want to play once it's like version 1.0, but we'll see. Anyway, I digress. Betrayal at Club Low was definitely so much fun. I would put it S tier as well. I honestly don't have any notes for it other than it's just too short. Like I wanted more. Oh, also Betrayal at Club Low had like 13 endings, and some of them are like some of the endings are like choices at the end, but then some of them you have to start from the beginning in order to make a different choice. So I do like that there, I mean 13 endings for like a 2-hour game is really nice because it just feels like it's a much bigger game than you feel like when you're playing it. But yeah, Betrayal at Club Low, I also highly recommend it if you just want something fun. You don't even have to enjoy RPGs because it's just so crazy and nothing makes sense in this game. That's just so fun. Yeah, that's Betrayal at Club Low. Oh, the council. Oh. Fond memories of this game. Oh, this felt like I played like 2 years ago, but it was only like a few months ago. So the council, this one I really wasn't expecting much. So this one is the game wherein think like Life is Strange type of gameplay of like walking around, getting clues, talking to people, making choices. That I say Life is Strange because it does the whole like third person perspective kind of thing. But take that adventure genre choices matter and inject like RPG mechanics. That was the innovation in this game, is the fact that it's an adventure game with a narrative game, but it has RPG mechanics where like you don't roll dice unlike in Betrayal at Club Low. It's more like if you reach like a specific amount in a specific skill, you're gonna be able to do more things related to that skill. So here I feel like this game really encompasses the like choices. I feel like if you want a game that feels like every choice matters, this is definitely the game that you'll feel like every choice does matter. It doesn't feel like it when you finish it, but when you see how much your choices affected it and watching someone else play, you know, um, you really feel the differences. Uh, and the story is like a historical fiction. So it's like a meeting of like famous historical people like George Washington, Napoleon Bonaparte. They all like meet in like this council, and then they talk about how they're gonna affect the rest. It's kind of like the Illuminati basically, and they kind of affect the world. And the puzzles were really good in a way that even when you not solve a puzzle correctly, the game still continues. That one, I was so shocked when it happened. When it first happened, I was like, it, the game still happens even when you solve the puzzle incorrectly. And I was like, wow. It just gives you like a penalty, especially in like later on. There's a penalty that I was so shocked because I solved the puzzle and I solved like a big puzzle. Like it was like a giant puzzle. Like you spend like 30 minutes to an hour getting clues for it. And then I fucking failed. And something happens and I'm like, and the game is also autosave. Like you can't go back and fix it. So you have to accept the fact that you made that choice, made that mistake. Oh well, I did it. Yeah. So that's a good thing. Here's the problem with the game. The first 3 episodes were perfect. I would say the first 3 episodes were like some of the best adventure gaming, point and click gaming that I've played. And then the writing just dips. The ending is still satisfying and cathartic, but the way it got there from episode 4 to episode 5 was bizarre. Like, sometimes characters jump from one room to another without making sense. Some characters are reacting to things in a way that I don't understand why they're reacting that way. It was just so weird. Luckily, the ending was still good. And some of the choices that you make in episode 4 and 5 were also fun. But in order to get there, it just felt so clunky. Like it felt like it felt like they were able to like playtest episode 1 to 3 and then they weren't able to playtest episode 4 and 5 enough to make it clean. I think that's what it felt like. So, after all of that, I would say that this is a B. This is not an A just because of the way it's so hard when the writing dips towards the end. I feel like you can save like bad writing from the start if it's good writing later. I prefer that more rather than really really good writing and then it dips towards the end. So that's the council. I still really enjoyed it, but it's such a shame that it's hard to recommend to people knowing how it dips in quality after episode 3. But episode 1, 2, 3 was like I would do episode 1, 2, 3 S tier, episode 4, 5 C tier. But together it's B tier. Since you have to count it as one game, obviously. Okay, next one is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Okay, so I haven't finished the trilogy yet. So I'm only putting Ace Attorney here, the first game. Since I still haven't finished Justice for All. I will get back to it, I promise. But, so I'm counting Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney by itself. That's why I'm using as well like the original cover, not the trilogy cover, just that. I really enjoyed Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney because I think I told it while I was playing it. I had it when Ace Phoenix Wright came out. It was at the same time as Professor Layton, and I had a dilemma. Which one should I play? Because I couldn't afford to buy them both. I could just play one. So I chose Professor Layton because puzzles. And which was eventually, I guess, a good choice because now I'm able to play Phoenix Wright on my PC, and I technically can play Professor Layton PC, but you know what I mean. So I guess I made the right choice in a way. So, this is my first time playing any Phoenix Wright game, but I knew what to expect going in with all the with the investigation and then the courtroom aspect. And I think it still holds up. I think what's fun with Phoenix Wright is the fact that it's the same thing with Betrayal at Club Low, wherein everything is just so crazy that everything makes sense. And because everything's so crazy, whichever time you play it, whether you were playing it in the 2000s or in the 2010s or in the 2020s, it still feels timeless, even though it's set in a specific time period, obviously. You know? I also really enjoyed solving things, like solving the courtroom stuff. I also really enjoyed like here's the thing about the game, though. I would say sometimes I know what I think happened, but the game hasn't reached that part of the story yet. And it wants you to jump through some hoops first before reaching the conclusion that you already have in your head. So sometimes it was just hard to like I know this is what happened, but the game is asking you, okay, how are we gonna prove that? And you're like, but this is what happened. And you're like, how do I prove it? And then I do like that was the quote unquote puzzle of it. The fact that you have to find out what happened. Okay, now here's the thing. I think it's a really great game. I still think it holds up, but I think Rise from the Ashes is like on another level compared to the rest of the first game, that it makes me think, oh, if the whole game was on the level of Rise from the Ashes, it would be S tier, but because of that, I would put it A. Again, I honestly think if Rise from the Ashes wasn't there, I would put the whole game at S tier, but just because Rise of the Ashes kind of showed how simple the first game was, it kind of dropped it a bit to A tier. You know what I mean? I hope you get it. But yeah, I will say though, I'm enjoying Justice for All. So I only did the first case, the one where Maya was accused of the murder with the doctor. I should really go back. I really want to play the rest. But yeah, like so far I feel like the first case of Justice for All feels already on par with Rise from the Ashes, I would say. I think because they've learned, or after the first game, they learned like what works and what doesn't. So by the second game, they already knew what works and what doesn't. So, and it just continued on to Rise from the Ashes from there. Anyway, I digress. Next game is Vampire the Masquerade. I forgot what it's called. Vampire the Masquerade: Coteries of New York. So this is a visual novel game. Visual novel RPG. There were some RPG mechanics still in it. Not a lot. And I find that it doesn't affect the narrative a lot. It just affects more how the world changes around you, which is still good. What's interesting, so in this game you start off like as a new fledgling. You just turned into a vampire, and then you're trying to like navigate this world, because like I think they were supposed to kill you, because when a new fledgling happens in and without permission, I think is the keyword. You're supposed to be killed, but then they were like, no, he's still useful, like something like that. So you play it, and then oh no, you were saved, and then the thing that I didn't expect from a visual novel like this was that you could only like do specific missions, or you're only given like time to do 2 missions a day, but there's like 4 or 5 different missions that you could do per day. So depending on which character you wanna hang out, I guess the most, it kind of does like a dating sim. I just realized it now. It kind of does like a dating sim aspect on wherein, oh, you want to hang out with this guy, you want to hang out with this guy, but instead of dating, it's more like trying to gain companions, not companions, friends, maybe friends. It's like you're trying to gather enough friends so that you can face the Camarilla Prince by the end. I think. I do think it ends really good. Uh, but I also think it kind of stays too long for a bit. But because the intrigue and the story is really good, I would still recommend it. So I would put it in A tier. I just feel like I also feel like it's not for everyone. The only reason why it's A tier and not B tier is because I really enjoyed it as a story. It Same with Paints Creek Killings. It felt like I was just reading a book. Well, you're literally reading this. It is a visual novel. But like I don't know. You're just clicking dialogue choices and making choices, but it actually felt great by the end, you know? Now, it's gonna be a different question on whether or not I'm gonna play the other games in the series. Because I'll be honest, it was kind of hard to play. Visual novels are kind of hard to play on stream sometimes because of all the reading. Because I think it reaches a point where it's just me like reading a book, and I feel like even for me, I get bored. I feel like visual novels should be played in like smaller chunks than like what I do, where I play a game for like 3-4 hours. I feel like when I after I didn't finish the game on stream, but after that stream, I like played it an hour at a time per day, and I was able to enjoy it much more, I think, because of that. But yeah, I digress. That's Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York. Next is Strange Horticulture. Okay, I think this is the first game in the list where I started doing VODs. I can't believe I missed all of these VODs. I could have had all these VODs. But at least now, this year, I have a VOD for each game that I play now. So, Strange Horticulture, if you don't know about it, it's... oh god, how do I describe it? You play as a horticulturalist, and you try to collect and identify plants, and people will come in and ask for a specific type of plant, and using incomplete information, by the way, using incomplete information in your book and specific tools, you should be able to deduce which plant you're supposed to use. It's very interesting because you will never be sure you're using the right plant until the game tells you you have the right plant. Because the idea is that you're supposed to deduce things. You're supposed to like use like literal logic in order to solve things. And what I didn't expect was the whole exploration bit. The part where you go on different locations in the map, and then the game will tell you like what's going on there. I didn't expect that. I thought the whole game was just gonna be inside the shop, but somehow they were able to make the world feel alive, even though it's just descriptions of text and sketchy drawings. and you're still and the screen is still technically in the shop. But because of how vivid the world building was and how vivid the exploration was, and I didn't expect the whole like conspiracy and like the secrets and the murder and the rituals. Like I didn't expect any of that, so I was so pleasantly surprised. Now the main bulk is the plants and deducing them. That was so fun too because I don't know. There's just something about the fact that it's limited information. You have to deduce it for yourself. You're not gonna get a confirmation until you try it. Uh, and I think as well. I don't think I ever. I don't think I ever failed. But then if you do fail, you just solve like a jigsaw puzzle, and then the game lets you continue. And I like that because it's you're like the determined for like the reason why you wouldn't brute force it is because it's gonna take so long to just brute force it. You should actually take the time to solve it yourself because that would be quicker. I feel like it's not necessarily perfect, but I like that that's their solution to it. What I also like is, and what I didn't expect is that the game also makes you do choices that actually felt like it was affecting the world and everyone around you, and and it actually affects what ending you get. And like sometimes choices early on locks you into a specific type of ending and then just branches out a bit. But and I like as well that the choices you make, it's not like a dialogue choice. It's you use the plants. So depending on which plant you give someone, it affects the choice. And oh, that was just so nice. Everything was so good. It looked so pretty. It sounded so good. And the fact that the screen was just one screen. It was just that desk and the window of the customer. That's just the screen, but like it felt like a whole perfect world. So because of that, Strange Horticulture Strange Horticulture is definitely S tier. I think later on I would when I fixed it all, I think I'll put Unavowed first and then Strange Horticulture second. Just because of how I had so much fun playing it. Like, if you watch the VOD of me playing that, you're gonna see me giddy so much. It was just so fun. And I can't wait to play Strange Antiquities, the sequel. Ah! I also have it. It was gifted to me, so I'm like excited that I have it. So yeah. So that's Strange Horticulture. Next is Chronicles of Innsmouth. Okay, this is an interesting one. So it's a point and click game, and it's basically telling the story of Shadows at Innsmouth. Oh God, what was that? What's that book called? Shadows over Innsmouth. No. Oh, it is The Shadow over Innsmouth. I think it's supposed. No. I think it's Call of Cthulhu. No, never mind. It's one of those Lovecraft books. So I think it's just a direct story. One is not 1:1, but like 90% accurate book version of Chronicle of Shadows over Innsmouth, with like a few changes, but not a lot. Because like I remember looking up the summary of the book after playing the game, and I realized, oh, the game was so close to what happens in the book. Uh, the problem is that the first half is like a whole like uncovering knowledge kind of thing, trying to get to Innsmouth. The first 2/3, by the way, first 2/3 of the game is trying to get to Innsmouth, and then once you get to Innsmouth, that's like the third half, the last third of the game, and that felt almost too obtuse because everything kind of made sense in the first 2/3. that when you reach the last third, the logic was just like bizarre. Like I did not understand most of what I was doing. I was already looking up like solutions to things. And also the jump of like the tonal shift from like the first two-thirds were like very lighthearted and funny, and then it just jumped into cosmic horror on the last third. That was very jarring. I feel like they should have stuck with one thing. They should have stuck with either just all of it lighthearted, all of it being lighthearted, or all of it being cosmic dread. I feel like that would have been much enjoyable experience because of the jarringness of the change of tone as well. Um, I'll be honest, I don't remember much about this game, so I'm gonna put in forgettable. I'm so sorry. I did enjoy it though. I will say, I just didn't enjoy the last half. But yeah, that's Chronicle over Innsmouth. Next is Nancy Drew, the final scene. I only played one Nancy Drew game this last year. And I still haven't bought more. I should buy more because I still have a few that I really want to replay. And I left the like really good ones. Like I played through the ones that I knew were bad, and I've left the ones that I have fond memories of, and I know are the good ones. That I haven't bought yet, so I'm excited to play them. Final scene. Honestly, I remember liking it more when I played it the first time. Playing it again, it kind of didn't hold up. Especially weird because Message in the Haunted Mansion, I put in S tier, and it was really fun. And I think I put Treasure in the Royal Tower B tier. I'm gonna say right now, I'll explain more, but final scene is definitely C tier. Like, it's not forgettable. It was still fun. It's just not one of the better ones. It's definitely not Shattered Medallion level, which I put in F tier. And it's not like Labyrinth of Lies, which I also would put in F tier. But it was still fun, especially the whole Harry Houdini aspect. And the fact that it's not a murder, it was like a kidnapping. It felt different from... Well, not all the Nancy Drew... Only one Nancy Drew game is about a murder. But like, I don't know. There's something about the fact that it was a kidnapping, and like, you were just in this one theater, and then you had to find Maya Nguyen within like 3 game days. And the whole like, I do like the whole like politics of it, wherein they're like everyone had a motive as to why they would kidnap Maya. That was really cool, but the puzzles and the how the game unfolds kind of falls flat. So because of that, I'm putting it at C. Okay, next is Sable. I have fond memories of Sable. This one was really cool. This is basically Breath of the Wild. Like, it's basically like Breath of the Wild, but instead of shrine puzzles, it's just fetch quests. Yeah, because I don't think there are much or any puzzles. If there is a puzzle, it's probably like a platforming puzzle or like finding which button to press first kind of puzzle. What I like about Sable the most is the art and the world building. Like, the art and the world building are so good, with the music by Japanese Breakfast, scored by Japanese Breakfast. Is like I know of Japanese Breakfast, but because of Sable, I've listened to her other albums now, and I'm a big fan because it was just so good in the game. I also, again, the art style, like Mobius, inspired by the artist Mobius, that was really nice. And yeah, the world building was really good. I really understood, because it's supposed to be like an Earth wherein it's like almost like 5,000 years in the future. Because the way they describe like stuff that's happening to us in the present, feels like it's been like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. That's why I say like 5,000. But yeah, so like it's so cool how they did that, how they told that. Uh, in that I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much. But I felt like the world was mostly empty. So that's the thing with Breath of the Wild that made it work, was that you thought the world was empty, but the more you walk around, the more you try to search every nook and cranny, you're gonna find something to do, like a shrine. And because of how, and I feel like the density of stuff to do with the size of the world makes sense in Breath of the Wild. In Sable, there is so much empty space that it kind of felt like lonely, I guess. Sadly enough, lonely at times. I do think the ending is worth it, and I also like that it went with the Breath of the Wild route, wherein you can reach a point where you can end the game anytime. I just chose to like get the other objectives, possible objectives, before ending the game. But yeah, I like that it went that way. Honestly, this is coming from me. Coming from me, I feel like the game would have been a bit more engaging if it had combat. And that's coming from me. I don't usually say that. Because I feel like it would have filled up the world a bit and made it a little more fun to play with systems. Because it had some systems, like with some physics puzzles, but other than that, could have been more. But yeah, because of that, I'll put it B. I wouldn't recommend it too much because it's also pretty slow, and I feel like so other people would probably like not touch the game anymore after that. Okay, now here's a controversial one. Hollow Knight 6 Silksong. I'm not done with it. I might go back to it. I'm not sure if I will have time. That's the thing. That's the problem. I feel like because of the difficulty, it's hard for me to easily go back to it. But I completely understand that's a me thing. I can see why others have done it. I just feel like compared to Hollow Knight, I was able to easily go back to Hollow Knight and play it again, even though it was terribly hard. Just because it was hard enough. I feel like Silksong is almost too hard, wherein I sometimes dread going back to playing it. That I would rather play something else. You know? And the only reason why I added to the list is because of the chance that I might not even continue. I would love to. I would like to get the time to, but just thinking about like the time to like play it, I'm already like, ugh, I don't have time. You know? I don't know. I was still controversial. I still put it A tier though. Why not S tier? Because I still haven't finished it. That's the only reason why. But everything other than that, it's an almost perfect game, I would say. I honestly think that the difficulty is good. It's just that it reaches a point where you're like, oh no, I need to stop. You know? Especially at the beginning, the difficulty just felt just right. But then it kept ramping up and I just couldn't keep up with it. So yeah, I haven't finished it yet. If I do plan on finishing it, it will probably not be on stream. I will probably finish it by myself. That's assuming I get the time. Yeah. And because of that, A. I kind of want Hades 2 now. That's what I felt like. When after playing Hollow Knight for Silksong for a bit, because Hades 2 is easier than Hades 1 because I played the playtest. I feel like I should have just played Hades because at least I would have finished that. I feel like I would have been able to finish Hades 2 before I even finished Hades 1. Anyway, that's another story. Next is Broken Reality. So Broken Reality is a adventure exploration puzzle. There is some puzzle. Yeah, there is some puzzles. It's about going inside So it's like set in like a very, very far future, but they go inside servers that are set in like 2000s and 90s, especially with the aesthetic, the vaporwave aesthetic. This one was really cute, and honestly, that's it. I enjoyed playing it. It just felt like a little, eh. I feel like other people, there's probably other people out there that enjoy it like much more than I do. It's not just me. I mean, I only bought it because vaporwave. That's my whole shtick, my whole aesthetic. I'll put it B. I mean, it's not C. That's the good thing. At least it's not C. But yeah, I'll definitely put it B because it was still good. You know what? I think I'm talking myself out of it. I'm gonna put it at C. I'm so sorry. It was really fun though. Until I realized that I've been playing for hours. Maybe if it was just a smidge shorter, like take off 1 hour of gameplay, it would probably be a B. It's only a B though. Anyway, that's Broken Reality. Next is, oh, these are the free games that I played that one stream. This one I'm gonna go through quick because there's free games and they're very short. 20 Small Mazes, S tier. I had so much fun. This is like, if you wanna rack your brain a bit, just a bit, uh go play this. I wouldn't even say much. The title is what it is. 20 Small Mazes. It's 20 small mazes. That's it. I'm not gonna say anything else other than S tier. And it's free. That, I think that's what makes it S tier as well, because it's free. It's basically like, just go and play it. Hold on. Yeah, 20 Small Mazes. Go and play it. Highly recommend. Next one is The Terrible Old Man. Ugh. This one started out so good, and then it kind of went nowhere. I still like the idea of it. It's very cosmic horror, but because of, it was just okay. But I forgot that I played it. I think it's when I was setting up this as well. I was like, oh yeah, I played that, and because of that feeling, forgettable. It's not, again, it's not bad. Anything up to forgettable is not a bad game. The ones that I would say that I would not recommend are the ones that I would say don't play. I just forgot about it. Dog Walk, oh, Dog Walk, it's almost perfect. The only reason why it's not S tier is because I want more of it. And it's a, if you don't know about Dog Walk, this is by Blender Studios, the people who made Blender, the 3D engine, 3D making, no, 3D, I don't know how to describe it. Shit. The thing that you make 3D assets with, that's Blender. So they made the assets in Blender, and then they made the game in Godot, which is a free open source software. And their idea was to make a game and show people that you don't have to spend money in order to make a video game. Since Blender is free, Godot is free, they probably used made their own music for it, uh, free. Because I would agree that there are some free music softwares that you could use. Um, so yeah, I think it's successful because the way they did the animation as well, and how simple the game was with how you're just you're playing as the dog and you're leading your owner to like different areas to finish a snowman. Adorable, you know. And I really enjoyed that when it reached the credits, it showed you BTS footage of them making the assets, because what they did was honestly still crazy. What they did was they painted like watercolor on paper, scanned that, and made that the texture. So that's why everything in the game looks like paper. Is because it technically is. So yeah, Dog Walk. Only reason why it's not S is because it should be more. Okay, next is Test Test Test. It's by the people who made like a Space for the Unbound. It's a puzzle time loop game. It was very fun, but I feel like it could have made it. It felt like it had a clunky middle. I remember having like a clunky middle while playing it, and I don't think they fleshed out the world building enough. And maybe it's not supposed to be. Maybe they're just doing this in order to preempt a bigger game that I think they just announced as well, if I remember correctly. Let me double check. But like, the only reason why it's not S is because of that. But other than that, I still, if you want, oh yeah, they just announced it. Work, work, work. Yeah, so that just proves my point. Like, this feels like a test, 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 even though it's hard to say. Even though test, test, test feels like a complete game and it's free, but it does feel like the game is like a proof of concept for a bigger game, you know. So that's why I put it A. But I still remember liking a lot the different puzzles, especially the puzzles that were kind of meta. I really like those as well. Okay, that's test, test, test. And the next is Children of Clay. Oh! Now here, this game, you just play it for 15 minutes. It's a short game. It's about this artifact that people found. And then you're trying to like discover what it means, and then it goes cosmic horror. I mean, it's not a spoiler because from the trailer it does feel like that, but it's only 15 minutes, but I feel like it's perfect. S tier. The 15 minutes it took to tell the story that I wanted to say, perfect. It also kind of creeped me out a bit as well, and it takes a lot to creep me out. So really good. Children of Clay. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend. It's free, and I really hope and it's also like a game jam game. That's why it's so short. But I feel like it's just a complete game already. I really hope the devs make a game, not necessarily about Children of Clay, but with the same like vibe of the Children of Clay into a full game, because I would definitely play the shit out of that. Okay, next one is I did not buy this bus ticket, or did not buy this ticket. This is another visual novel. Now, here's a visual novel that I think worked because it was much shorter than Vampire the Masquerade Quarters of New York. Because I did not buy this ticket for one stream, and I was able to finish it in twice, I think, in that stream as well. So I feel like streaming wise, this is like the right amount for a visual novel. I feel like the longer visual novels are much better to play by yourself. Anyway, I digress. I did not buy this ticket. It's like a surreal horror game. It doesn't really get too scary. It just reaches like a creepy feeling of paranoia, but never like too scary. It's about this girl who, I think her name's Candelaria, and she goes and she's like a professional crier at funerals. And then she leaves this one funeral and rides a bus that she noticed that she never bought a ticket for, but she has the ticket. That's where I'll say anything about the story. It's a really nice story. It's very metaphorical, which I appreciate. And I like as well that it's very open-ended. It gives you details of what's going on, and you have to make specific choices in order to reach an ending where the game explains what's going on and why and what it all means. But I love how it's told, and I love the reveal at the end. I love that I didn't get a great ending the first time, so I tried to get a better ending the second time, and I liked my second ending better, but I still very much enjoyed uncovering it all from my first playthrough. And what I love about it is the art. I honestly got a little bit inspired. Like, I never saw myself making a visual novel just because of how much dialogue you're supposed to write and how much art you're supposed to make for just seconds of screen time. But seeing how they did it here, and I did not buy this ticket, I'm kind of inspired to do it. Oh shit. I would put it in A tier. Honestly, no, I would put it S tier. I think I really enjoyed it that much. I don't see any flaws in it, honestly. Because I enjoy reading a lot, so I feel like the other people would probably not put it in S tier like me, but I would put it there. Okay, Amnesia the Bunker. I mean, if you watched me play Amnesia the Bunker, you're gonna know already I'm gonna put it in S tier. This was so much fun. I love that that Frictional went the route that they did, that they made a a small open world concept. Now here's my only critique. They should stop. Not they. People should stop like describing the gameplay as like a Metroidvania, because it's not a Metroidvania. It is, and and the game itself also says like, if you think you can do something, it probably does. That's false. There's a lot of 80% of the time I tried to do something, it didn't work. So why would you say that? Why would you put that in my head and then not for it to work? But I digress. I forgive them. I still really enjoyed Amnesia the Bunker. I loved how it was a small open world. I loved the feeling of the survival element, the fact that you had to keep fuel, that you had to keep light from the lantern in order to look for things. And the game not holding your hand is definitely the best part. Like, and then I did not expect the game to have that many twists. I absolutely love as well, because you kind of know what the first big twist is gonna be very early. Like, you're not even halfway through the game, you're already like, oh, I think I know what happened here. And then it still finds a way to twist things a bit. And when it does, when you see those twists happen, and the game presents it to you, you're still gonna be like, whoa. And then, oh, I love absolutely how it ends as well. And there's two endings, but I feel like both endings work. That's what I really liked about it as well. The fact that both endings could work, both endings I could see be canon. That's why S tier. I'm gonna tell you right now, probably top 3 is Unavowed, Strange Horticulture, Amnesia the Bunker. Unless I'm missing something, but I think that's gonna be it. Next is Dread X Collection. So this is a series of 10 games, small, tiny game jam size games, with the theme being just to make something like a good horror test, or like good. I think the prompt was make something like PT, like make your own version of what PT, your PT, like that. So highlights were definitely the one with by Erdorf. I think Summer House was it called? I'm gonna look it up. Uh, yeah, Summer Night, Hand of Doom, and Shatter. I would put a like I'll put a ranking for each game, and then I'll put a collective one for the whole collection, because it's still a paid collection. So as much as I enjoyed like the ones that I really enjoyed, the fact that there were some clunkers kind of brings it down a bit. Um, so Summer Night, Hand of Doom, and Shatter definitely S tier. Those ones, if you're gonna play only a few games in this game, those ones I would recommend. Don't Go Out and Outsiders would be B tier. Not A tier. Some people put Outsiders higher, but I just didn't enjoy how confusing it was. Some people enjoyed the confusingness of it, but I didn't. But because of the story, it goes to B. And then the rest are F. No, no, no. The rest are E, Forgettable, and Rotgut is F. Rotgut was just nothing. I even if there was a joke there, I was just like, what? So the the problem with the others, that's why I put it in forgettable, was just because of that. They're forgettable because they were instructed to make their own PT. I think some of the devs made games that they were hoping was gonna be like a full game afterwards, which worked for some. Like Hand of Doom did become a full game afterwards, but I think they should have went the route that Erdorf did with Summer Night, wherein Summer Night already feels like a complete game on itself. Like it feels complete and done, and that's it. And but it still feels like a proof of concept, so it fulfills the brief while still being its own thing. And I think that's what the problem with the other games was. So I'll put it in B. Yeah, definitely not C. Yeah, I'll definitely put it in B. I still really enjoyed it. Burnhouse Lane. Oh. Okay, so if you guys know me, you know I love Harvester games. I really enjoyed Downfall. I really enjoyed Cat Lady, and I enjoyed Lorelei. And I was expecting more of the same, but a bit different with Burnhouse Lane, and it was much more than expected. It started off feeling like it was just gonna be more of what the Cat Lady was, but then it kind of shifts gears a bit, and then it becomes its own story, its own thing, and it was just so fun to play, so enjoyable to experience, and then the emotions that the game has. And I worked hard on getting that best ending. I didn't get it the first time, but I wanted to get it because I wanted to get it and watch it because the best ending that you get in Burnhouse Lane is so worth it. I love how thematic the other endings were, the bad endings were, but the best ending was told in such a way that doesn't undermine the trauma, the emotions, the all of it that the characters felt. Like it doesn't discredit all the things they've gone through. You know, it's not like a sad. It's it's not melancholic even. It was not, but it's not happy. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not necessarily a happy ending, but it gives off like a melancholic happy ending almost. Anyway, I digress. Burnhouse Lane was really good. I also really like the puzzles in Burnhouse Lane, and I think the improvement, not really improvement, the art in the earlier games were already good, but the way They were able to make it even more better, even more beautiful. Burnhouse Lane is definitely S tier. This one I highly recommend. Cat Lady and Burnhouse Lane, I would say, would be S tier. Lorelei and Downfall, I would say, would be A tier. Maybe Downfall goes to B, just because there were some puzzles in Downfall that was a little confusing. But I'm just saying that just to show how much Burnhouse Lane was so much better than I thought it was going to be. Okay, next is Tormented Souls. Oh my gosh. October felt like so long ago looking back at these games. Also, it looks like with the pace that I'm going, I might not be able to play Thief Gold. I might just end the stream after this. So, for Tormented Souls, if you don't know what it is, it's like a Resident Evil clone. So it's basically like using the Resident Evil 1 and 2 mechanics where it's fixed cameras and weird puzzles. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for the puzzles already. I didn't expect to like the story as well. Because the story started off very unserious, like very, very, very B horror. That I was like, ugh, I enjoy it for what it is. But then it kind of went serious and it kind of told a nice story by the end and satisfying one. And sure, I didn't realize what you were supposed to do to get the best ending and I had to look it up. But I think the best ending, the one that's canon, was worth getting. Because it kind of made everything feel cathartic with how weird everything was. Weird, like, the weirdness was weirdly explained. It's weird that it was explained. And that was the weird part. Like, oh, I thought we were just gonna accept that everything weird happening was just weird. No, they explained it, and you were like, oh, it all made sense. So definitely A. This is definitely getting much better than last year, because in last year I think I put so much more in B than A, and now A is much more than B. Okay, next is 10 Bells. 10 Bells was so fun to play. This is an anomaly game, so if you know Exit 8, it kind of follows that mechanic wherein you go through an area and then if you see an anomaly, you go backwards, but if you don't see when you go forwards. What I really enjoyed with 10 Bells was that the anomalies were like telling the story of what happened as well. So by the time that you get all the anomalies, you kind of have a full picture of what happened there. And that shocked me because I thought normally anomaly games are just that. They're just anomaly games. But they were able to inject a whole like metaphor and story and all of that. So A tier. I think if you don't like the anomaly games like Exit 8 because you find it like tedious, I think you should still try 10 Bells. Just because you're gonna be hooked by the story, I feel like. Okay, Stasis. Oh, this one. So I was excited to play this because it's a top-down, isometric, point and click. And it's horror, sci-fi horror. I love sci-fi horror personally, so I was expecting a lot from it. But then the weird thing about it was that the puzzles just felt a little like they're either too easy to understand or too obtuse to make sense. And then sometimes there were some points where I think I just looked up what to do because I just didn't understand what we're supposed to do. And then there's like a false choice aspect to it that I feel like didn't work. So usually like false choice, like it's supposed to make you feel like, oh no, my choices are important. And then at the end you're like, wow, maybe it did matter, but only to me. Here, no. It by the end I was like, why didn't I choose anyways? It didn't matter. And then I do like the aesthetic of it. The aesthetic was really nice with the whole like sci-fi horrorness of it. And there were some like body horror elements as well. Oh, I will say the best part of the game was the surgery puzzle, wherein you had to do surgery on the main character's back, and that one was wild. That was the best part. But then it kind of felt reminiscent of like Dead Space. So since it's a little referential, it wasn't groundbreaking. Not that everything has to be, but you know what I mean. Like, because it felt like it was just the same vibe as with Dead Space, the eye surgery, which is the back surgery. It kind of dimmed, but then yeah, at the end, it's not the worst, not the best. I didn't forget about it. There were some memorable parts. It's all right. Okay, Lamplight City. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is another point and click. This one is where you are a detective, and something happens. I'm not gonna say because I feel like that's the first twist of the game. It happens within the first like 20 minutes, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But so you're a detective and you're trying to solve someone's murder. And what's interesting about it is that you solve cases and then it eventually makes you reach the murder of that you were trying to solve this whole time. Now, here's my little issue with it. It's not bad. The little issue with it was, story-wise, was that I would have preferred it if there was like an overarching theme or overarching connection with the cases, because the cases almost felt too self-contained. I would have preferred if there was a little more connection to all of them, like a through line through all of them. But it was still really good. The mysteries were still really good. The solutions were still really good. And the interesting about the game is that you can choose to you can make false accusations, either on purpose or unintentionally. But if you haven't looked hard enough for specific things or do specific things, you will not get the proper solution to each case, which I absolutely like. I also think that the first case was the best one, other than the last one. I think understatement, but I feel like the first one really highlighted that, because there were some things that I could have missed that wouldn't have gotten me the best ending, or like the best answer, or like the answer, I guess. And then I loved the voice acting as well. It was really good. The story with the wife was really good as well. But yeah, I think it's almost there. I would put it 8 here. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, Case of the Golden Idol. I have always wanted to play it when it first came out, when people were saying this is one of the best deduction games ever. Oh, speaking of deduction, I think Lamplight City tries to be a deduction game, but it's not. It's more of a puzzle game. Just wanted to point that out there. Case of the Golden Idol. Now, this is a pure deduction game. Now, this is deduction to a T. This is what Obra Dinn did. This is what Outer Wilds did. The whole uncovering. But if you don't know anything about it, it's a game wherein you fill up a scroll, basically, describing what's happening in the scene. But in order to find out what's happening in the scene, you have to like look at people's pockets, read people's name tags, or like just look around the scene and then you collect words and then you place those words in the scroll. So the test is like you understanding what's going on. Now, what I love about it is that this is what I was saying with Lamplight City. There's a through line, even though everything's self-contained, all the mysteries are self-contained. There's a giant through line in the middle regarding the Golden Idol, and the Golden Idol was the center of attention every time. Either it's the center of attention or it's the cause of whatever's going on. And what's interesting as well is that each contained mystery is a murder. Like a murder happened. Sometimes you don't even know where the murder is happening until you move a few scenes in. And but then it goes through this epic story, like years and decades worth of story, and it gave me a twist that I did not see coming. And when that twist happened and when I understood it, that was so cool because usually I feel like in other games like these, like puzzle games, the twist happens during like a cutscene, like it gives you a cutscene, something happens. Oh, but here the twist happens as you're playing because the twist is part, the twist is kind of part of the story in that when you understand what's going on, that's the twist, you know? Ah, it's perfect. S tier. From start to end, it was really good. And I like as well that the tutorial level was part of the story as well. I don't know why that tickled me so much, but I like that. So yeah, Case of the Golden Idol, one of the best games I played, definitely. It's not up like with my top 3, which is Unavowed, Strange Holder Culture, and Amnesia Bunker, but it's up there. Okay, next is the DLC. Now here for like escape memoirs, I separated the DLC. I know I put the DLC together, but here I have to separate it because I have some things to say. So the DLC, the first DLC is the Spider Flanca of Case of the Golden Idol. This one was good because, but it just didn't reach the heights of the main game because I think they made it a bit too big. Like the first case was for me was perfect. So each DLC adds 3 cases. So the first case was perfect in my eyes, up to par with the main game. But the second and third case almost felt like there was too many scenes. I feel like they should have compressed it a bit more, made it more concise, made it a little more tight. Because of that, it got a little confusing. Like they made it confusing by adding more stuff to look at instead of making it confusing because of how complicated it is, just like the first case in this DLC. So because of that, I'm placing it A tier. So because it's not almost perfect but not perfect. I need to move my artboard now. Forgot how to adjust the artboard. Shit. I forgot. Hold on. Let me remember how to do it. Because I remember doing it somewhere here. No. I'll just Google it. Oh, so I have to do it from here. Oh, there. Just do this. I'll adjust it properly later. Once everything's like done. Okay, next is the Lemurian vampire. So, okay, here's the thing. Oh, we're almost done. Here's the thing with Lemurian vampire. First of all, it continues the story of Spider of Lanka, and Spider of Lanka, together with Lemurian vampire, accumulates with the tutorial level of Golden Idol. That's not really a spoiler. You kind of can tell that that's where it's headed. So it basically explains how and why the tutorial level happened. The Lemurian vampire, they added another concept, another dimension, I guess, which is time. So not only are you looking at things within one scene, you also have to look at the scene in different time periods so that you're able to get the full picture. So you're like, okay, that's what they added. The problem is, it's the same with Spider of Lanka, that the places are almost too big, that it's hard to like, that's almost too confusing. To the point where in the last case, I felt like I had to infer a lot, which is the point of the game, clearly. But the amount of brain power you had to use in order to correctly infer things was almost too crazy. I would say it's too hard. It's the same with Hollow Knight 6 Summer. Everything's just too hard. So I would only recommend the DLC if you're willing to go through so hard cases. It's still good, it's still fun. It was just so difficult using all that brain power. And because of that, I'm putting this in B. That's how difficult it was. That is B. Because I did not have a hard time sleeping after that. Okay, 2 Point Hospital, Pebberly Island. This is a DLC for 2 Point Hospital. 3 hospitals. I think I played only 1 or 2 hospitals on stream, and then I played the last one. I definitely played the last one off stream. That one's for sure. Okay, this one was fun because I didn't expect it after like the Bigfoot expansion, but they made the second and third hospital in this DLC have a specific mechanic, have a specific mechanic wherein the second hospital dealt with objectives affect, so your hospital will only grow whenever you finish a specific objective, and you can only hold like 3 objectives at a time. So that was fun and interesting. The last hospital was so hard, so difficult. This one is when everyone comes in, patients come in waves, and if you don't complete the patients in time, you're gonna lose money because you only get money when the wave is here, and you have to do like 20, I think 20 waves, which is a lot, or maybe 15. It was just a lot. I was so overwhelmed. Took me a few tries to get to it, but I really liked it because I did, again, based on the Bigfoot expansion didn't add, the Bigfoot DLC didn't add so much, so I was shocked that they were able to find a new way to change up the mechanics in Pebberly Island. I think I would recommend Pebberly Island more than Bigfoot expansion, definitely. Oh, here we go. Observation. This one, I forgot that I played. This one, I really wanted to enjoy it. It was a cool idea. So you're playing as an AI inside a spaceship or a space station, and you're helping the lead character like do things. So you're like going through like rooms, and sometimes you're in a drone going around, and it's also sci-fi horror. It's also a bit. It's also has a bit of cosmic horror in there. I just feel like the last 20-30 minutes of it kind of ruined the experience for me. Just because I just feel like it didn't go anywhere. And it went to a place where it was predictable. So that made me sad. Especially now looking back. It was fun while playing it, and then now and it's like, yeah. So C. It was so sad because I really enjoyed Stories Untold, the first game by these devs. So playing through Observation, I was like, oh, this is feeling great, and then it wasn't. Oh, and there were times where I was really stuck. I had to look it up. So I was like, no. Okay, Hercule Poirot, the first cases. I remember this also felt like years ago, even though it was just a month ago when I played this. So this one was really fun. I did not expect to enjoy the story so much. I thought they were not that they were gonna butcher it or anything. I thought they were just gonna make their own style of an Hercule Poirot story, uh, inspired by Agatha Christie. But you can tell that the devs who made this are big fans of Agatha Christie because they got Poirot's personality right, and the way the mystery unfolded felt like reading the books. And I love as well that the just like in some, not all the time, but I like as well that they used that that technique that Agatha Christie did, wherein you kind of meet the characters first, and Poirot's there for a different thing, and then a murder happens, and then that helps Poirot uncover the other bigger thing. And I like that they use that as well in the game, and I love how they were able to put like societal issues and like political economical issues as well inside the game. I didn't expect that, because that because that's what Agatha Christie really enjoyed. Like she really liked putting like societal issues within the like motives, or like why specific people were considered suspects, and they got it here. The only problem is that uh there's no puzzles in this game really. The only puzzle here is the mind map, and the mind map was very executed poorly in my eyes. It it could have been executed much better than they wanted it to be. And I feel like you spend like 30 to 40% of the game inside the mind maps, and they're like very like UI UX, instead of like being inside the world that was very colorful, very like, beautiful. And then I didn't like that the UI was like that. This is just me personally, but I didn't like that the UI was very modern. I feel like they could have just fitted with the aesthetic of the rest of the game. But yeah, but what really carried it for me was the voice acting, the story, and everything. Because of that, B, yeah, just B though, because the mind map was just too much. Okay, Flotsam. I played it only once in this on stream to start the game, and then I played the rest of it off stream because this is a fucking addictive game. It's a survival game that's also a town management city builder game mixed together. So think like Raft with like not City Skylines, something smaller than City Skylines. I can't think of it, but think like a city builder. But while building your city, you're supposed to survive. And there's an ending to it, I like the ending. It was so nice. I didn't expect to like the ending so much. There isn't a lot of story in the game, but with the little snippets that you get of the world and what happened, because the world here is flooded, like the earth is flooded, and you're trying to survive, going through uh, the submerged world, trying to get trying to salvage whatever is above water, and you just I'm not gonna say how it ends, but when it does end, it feels so satisfying that I didn't want to play it anymore. And I spent like 30 plus hours playing it, but it was so fun. Definitely A tier. Definitely A tier. I'm trying to think why it's not S tier. Maybe because it takes a while to get it going. It takes a while to like get the pace going, and then it reaches kind of a lull bit, because sometimes you don't get specific materials or resources because of the RNG, and because of that, it kind of like stalls the game a bit. Okay, last one is Guardians of the Galaxy. This one was really good. I really enjoyed it for the story. Now the gameplay was just so-so. There was combat, yes. Was it fun combat? It's alright. But what you're gonna get out of this is definitely a really, really, really funny story. It felt like watching like a season of a show. I feel like I'm saying that a lot in some of these games, but this is another one that feels like it, because, or you can also look at it as like a trilogy of movies almost, but I feel like it's more of like a show, because it kind of the story shifts in a way where it feels like it's like the way you would write like an episode of a series almost. Yeah, because sometimes you forget that there's that character, and then there's something come up, and then anyway. And then you also make choices in this game, but I didn't feel like they mattered that much. I think they're mostly flavor, but at least it's there, right? But it was really fun. Again, really fun, really great voice acting, and somehow a very emotional story at its core, with the whole like team getting to know each other more. Because it's kind of implied that they're not the Guardians of the Galaxy for a long time yet, when at the start of the game, and the whole thing with oh fuck, what's her name, with the daughter. That was really nice. Oh, that was really good. Oh, yeah. So the story is really good. If you're ready to go through the gameplay, B. But story, S tier. Gameplay, I would say, is a C tier. And can push that together, B. Okay, that's it. That's all the games that I played this year. How many is this? 43. No. 48. Yeah, 48 games. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Well, some of these are like free games that takes like 10 to 15 minutes. So take that with a grain of salt. Let me just check. Yes, Pat, I did. If you missed the start of this, you can. I'm gonna put this VOD up on my YouTube. You can watch the how I reviewed specific games. Okay, I'm just gonna adjust the list according to, from the left, what games I like the most, towards the right, so that it goes in a like order of a ranking as well. What have you played in this list, Pat? Oh shit, this is gonna be hard, because oh shit, I forgot to put everything where they should be. Okay, I'm just gonna okay, I'll just do it like this. I forgot to do the thing that I usually do. Why did I not do it like that? Okay, this is interesting, because last year I had 3 games in F tier. Now it's just 1. I also had 3 games in the D tier, the forgettable tier. So there are still some that get through it. But this time I have more A tier than B tier. Last year I think I had more B tier than A tier. So it's interesting to see how I've curated myself to playing games that I would like. I'm gonna make a guess that by next year, it's gonna be a little more top heavy more, because the goal is that games will mostly be from S2C, and there will be no games in D and F, and then it will be like a very huge chunk in A. Cause that's my personal goal. If I get to reach that, I'll be so happy. None? You only played the mobile version of Samros 3. Oh, I didn't. I played Samros 1 and 2. I haven't played 3. Oh, yes. Oh, Strange Horticulture. I love it. Have you played Case of the Golden Idol? You're gonna love that. Honestly though, I feel like anything on my S tier, I would recommend. Even the scary ones. Even the sad ones. Burnhouse Lane. Oh, I love Burnhouse Lane. Oh, it's so good. Do you know how it plays? Case of the Golden Idol? Why did I do this to myself? So yeah, Case of the Golden Idol is like, it gives you like a scene, and then it gives you a scroll, and then you pick up words from like the scene. So like the name of this person from a letter, the name, something, this word from a different sign, and then you fill up the scroll, and you're trying to like deduce what is going on. I know that it sounds very weird, but I think the game perfectly gives you a tutorial that perfectly showcases what the game is, and you just get it immediately. And then afterwards, you're gonna be like, "What?" And it goes crazy real quick, to the point that you're like, How are they making mysteries out of these things? It's so smart. It's a smart game. But take note that this is Case of the Golden Idol, right? This is the first DLC and then the second DLC. It's only going down because the difficulty went up with the DLCs, that I felt like they made it almost too hard. Like the second DLC was too hard. Like I was so tired. It was still good. The story is still good. The puzzle element is still good. It was just too hard. Like my brain. Like they didn't have to make it that hard. They could still make it complicated without losing the difficulty that they want. But yeah, I hope they learned with Rise of the Golden Idol, the sequel, because I heard that the DLCs in Rise of the Golden Idol are not as bad as these ones, and that's saying a lot since these are really good DLCs still. It's just that the main game was perfect. While I'm doing this, does like a game stand out to you? I know it's very tiny, probably on screen. You're probably like, "What's this blur?" Oh fuck! This fun to do. I like doing this. Kind of puts into perspective what games I like, and kind of give me an idea of what I want to play next. The only reason why I know the names is because I played everything, so just by seeing the logo, I can tell which game I'm looking at. I'm gonna zoom in anyways after adjusting all these. But look at that, I just had one terrible game. That's so funny that I only had one. Did I do folders right? Okay, I did. Okay, now to go through each one. I'll start with the bottom. So without escape, you're all alone down there. That's fine. Don't play that. Oh, as I was saying early at the beginning, so I would say a S tier to C tier are oral games that I would say are not bad. The D tier, the forgettable, is not bad, but I forgot that I forgot anything about it. So I would probably like not recommend it. But the one that's down here, I'd be like, just don't look at it. So that's how I kind of rate it. I would say so this one is, I would say I would definitely recommend. This one, A tier, would be like they found something fresh and new, or like something really good, really enjoyable. And then S tier is just, I can't find any faults. Even though there probably is, I can't find any. I'll probably put Chronicle of Innsmouth above Alone with You, because I enjoyed that more. Which is weird because Chronicle of Innsmouth and Terrible Old Man, I think, were made by the same developer. Definitely Observation is down there. Actually, I think this is a perfect one. I like the final scene more than Broken Reality, than Stasis, than Observation. It's so sad though, these games, because especially Stasis and Observation, I expected them to be more fun. You have, so it's I have my VODs channel now, so you can watch that on the side. What did I make? What did I make the command? Is it that? Yeah. So I still upload some in my main channel that's edited. Like I edit out dead air and stuff, but I just put all my VODs now in just one channel, in a separate channel, in case any, because sometimes Bella would be like, "Oh, I missed that stream and the VOD's gone." I'm like, you know what? I should learn how to do that, and then I did. Okay, definitely Chimera Squad is gonna be lower. Which one I love the most? I think the Council is the best one in my eyes in this group. Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, probably lower as well. Sable next to Council, yes. Then I would put Samaros next. Escape Memoirs I probably put lower. I'll put the Lemurian Vampire next. Then Hercule Poirot. Then Guardians. Then Turnip Boy. Oh, fuck. My layers. I'll put Dread X here. Chimera Squad here. Escape Memoirs here. Yeah. Turnip Boy here. So it's the Council for the B tier. The Council, I think, is the best of the group. then Sable, then Samarost 1, then Case of the Golden Idol, Lemurian Vampire, and Hercule Poirot First Cases, Guardians of the Galaxy, Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, XCOM Chimera Squad, Dread X Collection, and then Escape Memoirs mini stories. Okay, and then A tier. This is gonna be a long one. A tier is gonna be so long. I think last year B tier was the longest one, so it's interesting to see that A tier is the longest one this time. Okay, I'm just looking at it to see which one I love the most out of all of them. Oh God. You know what? I think Flotsam is the best one in the A tier. I can't believe Flotsam's the best one. Because I just played this so recently. I played this in December. And the fact that it's there. I honestly think I'm so sorry. I'm putting Silksong towards the end. But it's still A tier. I think Room 4 is the next best one. And then Bokura is the next best one. Nagot ako. To whom? Silksong really just feels like a DLC of Hollow Knight. It doesn't feel like a sequel. It feels like a harder Hollow Knight. So it's definitely not for everyone. I mean, the people who kickstarted Hollow Knight way back when in 2015, they got Silksong for free because that's part of their pledge. Can you imagine being one of those people back in 2015 pledging for Hollow Knight only to get the game, the DLC game promised to you 10 years later? Can you imagine? I mean, they got the game that they paid for, which is Hollow Knight. But the free DLC that they're supposed to get, they got it way after. Oh, Lamplight City, I would put up. After Bokura. I think Samrost, then Resonance. I think Phoenix Wright is good there. Magic, Mr. Rabbit Magic Show should go there, and then I'm putting not Samrost. I'm putting Vampire lower. I'm sure there's some backers who are not alive. I mean, I didn't think about it like that, Pat, but dang. Dog Walk, yes. Honestly, I'll put Tormented Souls and 10 Bells above Test Test Test. And then and honestly, 2 Point Hospital, Spider Blanca. Then Bloodstained, then Vampire, and then Silksong. Okay. So for A tier, first is Flotsam, and then Room 4, The Old Sins, Bokura, Lamplight City, Samaros 2, Resonance, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Mr. Rabbit Magic Show, Dog Walk, Tormented Souls, 10 Bells, Test Test Test, 2 Point Hospital, Beverly Island DLC, Golden Idol Mysteries Spider of Sri Lanka DLC, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York, and Hollow Knight Silksong. Look at all these long names together. And then S tier. Definitely the best, the one I enjoyed the most is Unavowed. I think Rusty Lake is one of the ones that are in the lower, even though it's really good. Paints Creek as well, I would put high up. I'd put Paints Creek here for now. Like this. Many Nights of Whisper, I'll also lower a bit. Because it's perfect, but it's not as perfect as the others. So Unavowed first. Then, Strange Horticulture. You know what? I might put Golden Idol above Amnesia Debunker. Just looking back now, I like that much more. Then Amnesia Debunker. Then Burnhouse Lane. Then Balatro. Then Paints Creek Killings. Actually, that seems right. Then Betrayal at Club Low afterwards. Yeah, Betrayal at Club Low would be next. 20 Small Mazes. I would put that under Children of Clay. So Betrayal at Club Low, Children of Clay, 20 Small Mazes. I did not buy this ticket. No, I put Many Nights of Whisper above. I did not buy this ticket. And then Rusty Lake Hotel. Okay, so it's number 1 is Unavowed, number 2 Strange Horticulture, number 3 Case of the Golden Idol. I will say they're kind of that kind of tells a lot about me, that these are the games that I enjoyed the most last year. Plus the Bunker, Amnesia Debunker, and Burnhouse Lane kind of says a lot about me, because these are definitely like the games that I expected to be good, and they were just much better than I expected. All 5 of them. I came in with this expectation, and they were not just met, they were surpassed. I think that's why I put them S tier. And then Balatro's like just pure fun. Paints Creek Killings was great, but the ending kind of dipped a bit, even though I still think it's perfect. Trail Club Low. Children of Clay. This is a free horror game that's like 15 minutes. Highly recommend. 20 Small Mazes. As the title says, it's 20 Small Mazes. Highly recommend. Also free. I can't wait to play the sequel that they made. Small Jigsaw Puzzles, I think. Many Nights of Whisper, really good emotional story for like 90 minutes. I did not buy this ticket. A really cool, surreal visual novel with a really, really, really nice metaphor underneath all the weirdness. And Rust Lake Hotel, because it's just escape room craziness. So there. This is kind of cool to look at, because I feel like compared to last year, I might put last year just to compare. Compared to last year, I feel like I know now what works and what doesn't for me. Like what games I like. So you can see this is last year's. I also played less games in 2024. Last 2024 looked like this with still says a lot about me that the top 4 games are American, Arcadia, Lacuna, Murder by Numbers, and In Other Waters. And then it's the B tier is very long, and then now it's like this. I feel like I've slowly like removed games that I'm sure that I won't be able to enjoy anymore, and I'm able to like just buy the games that I think I would really enjoy. I mean, there's still some stragglers that got in. Uh, it's not their fault. Maybe it's me, but this is fun. So, again, like, don't play this. Play this at your own risk. Play this knowing that there's some really big caveats that you have to go through. Play this, but know that it's not perfect. These are really, really good games, and then these ones I would be like, get these first. I feel like the S and A are kind of similar. Just I feel like S just means if you have a choice between these games and these games, play these ones first. The S tier. These ones are much more perfect in my eyes. It could also be my personal opinion, but I honestly think these are all really, really good. So, you can take. I'll also save this and put it in my Discord, so you can all see my recommendations. I'm no games journalist, but you know. I will say that I will say 2026 is starting out great as well, because I feel like I just played a game that I would put in A tier with Whispers of a Machine, and then I played something that I would put in either C or D depending on how I feel next year with House of Da Vinci. So there's still some stragglers getting through. But yeah, this is my list for last year. I also predict that I'll probably play less games this year because I have a few long games in my backlog. Like games that would probably take like 3 or 4 or 5 streams to finish. I have like Tunic, um, Death's Door. I'm trying to remember, I remember buying one that I was like, oh, this is gonna take a while. Oh, Starstruck Vagabond. That's probably gonna take a while. I want to say Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood might take a while, but it probably won't. Citizen Sleeper I have, so that's gonna take a while as well. So I have some long games here, and then there I also have games from on Epic. So those will go in sometimes. Like here, Guardians of the Galaxy came from Epic. Sable came from Epic. Funny how none of the games in S tier are from Epic. What does that say? Actually, even A tier, none of these are from Epic. Okay, I bought all of these. Oh wait, Samorost was from Epic. Yeah. Samorost 1 and 2 were from Epic. Right? I don't even remember anymore. Anyway, that's it for today. That was fun doing and talking. I talked for 3 hours. God damn. I feel like there's not a lot of people to raid out anymore. I would like to make an effort and like find more people, but at this point, sometimes it's just hard to like get the energy to do that. So I might just not raid out here. But thank you for everyone who said hi, who chatted, who lurked. I hope you enjoyed this, and as usual, I'll put this VOD in my VODs channel if you want to watch it. Oh my god. And then yeah, to another year of just playing games, making games, then wow, it's so weird. It feels like I started streaming like 2021. It's now 2026. Weird. What did you buy? What did you buy? Is it on? Was it on sale? Is that why you bought it? I need to know. Oh, in other words, ugh. So you're like in that game, yeah. I was thinking you probably don't know anything about it. So in that game, you're an AI and you're helping a scientist. You're like an AI in a suit. Like you're like Jarvis in Iron Man, and then you're like helping the scientist like uncover what happened, because like she came here after something happened, and then but she doesn't know what happened, so she's trying to find it out, and you're helping her, and the whole game is just like a computer. Like you don't see any of the beautiful wildlife, flora, fauna that she talks about, and that's part of it apparently. Well, not apparently, it really is, because when I was playing, I was like, wow, this feels kind of sad because I'm just a robot. I'm just a little robot and I don't see anything. but the way the scientist described it, she describes it so beautifully and wonderfully, and the story that unfolds as well was really good. And you know how good it is that as a DLC they added the notes of the scientist with drawings as DLC that I do plan on buying, because I also have the game. They also made Citizen Sleeper, which I'm probably gonna play this year as well. So I'm really excited to play that. But yeah, like that, I know, right? It's so cute. When I saw it as well, I was like, when I didn't know the game yet, I was like, wow, they're just made like an art book. Interesting. Why would they do that? And then after playing it, I'm like, okay, I need the art book, because I don't know what anything looks like. I need to know what it looks like. So yeah, if you like open up the store page, the screenshots are all just dots and UI. And what I think as well worked as well is that the UI doesn't feel it doesn't feel too boring. It feels alive, and it helps the aesthetic of the game if you look at the screenshots in the Steam page. But yeah, that one I really love. So I'm glad that you bought it. How much is it now? Oh, it's 75% off. No wonder you bought it. Yeah, I love In Other Waters. That's why I'm excited to play Citizen Sleeper. But yeah, that's it for today. You should next time we're on Discord, you should just ask me what games to play. I played so much at this point. And I've also, because of the games that I've been playing the past 2 years, I feel like those helped inspire as well the next few games that I want to make. So you're gonna see how I formulated things if you play those games as well, you know, if you think about it. Okay, that's it for today. I'm actually I usually end at this time anyway, so this is perfect. But yeah, thank you everyone. I don't know when I'll stream next. I'm not sure if tomorrow Saturday works. We'll see. If not, then I'll see you guys next week. I will probably continue Thief Gold, and then I'll probably play Hypnospace Outlaw as well, because that's the next one I'm gonna play, which is a game that you play on on someone's computer in the 90s. So that sounds cool, right? And yeah, I really want to finish Thief Gold as well, because the story's already gotten interesting, so I want to see how it ends. Yeah, see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.